Welcome back to the Charlotte Knights pregame show. Tommy the V of Viola here at BB&T Ballpark. Beautiful night for baseball tonight, and I'm joined by WWE Hall of Famer, the $1 Million Man, Ted Dibiase. Ted, I am so happy to have you here today. It's such an honor to have you. Welcome to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Hey, it's great to be back in Charlotte. You know, as we were talking about earlier, in my wrestling career, in the old, what they call the territorial days, I never got a chance to come to Charlotte. And Charlotte's a huge wrestling town. But after I got to the WWF, now WWE, I came here several times. But I've always loved Charlotte, one of the most beautiful cities. I just took a picture of the skyline to send my wife. Beautiful city. Love it here.
That's awesome, Oli. Thank you for being here. Let's talk a little wrestling with you, Ted. Obviously, when people talk villains, they think of the $1 Million Man. What a great character that was. How that came about, what are some of your fond memories of being the $1 Million Man?
Well, the $1 Million Man actually was a character that if Vince McMahon could be a character in his own show, I was told he would be the $1 Million Man. And so I was kind of like his alter ego. And if you notice, when he became more involved in the program, he more or less kind of became that character. But people say all the time, I get it from fans, they said, don't be offended, Mr. Dibiase, but I hated your guts. And I just laugh. I go, that was my job. You know, I was the bad guy, so you weren't supposed to like me. I'd be worried about you if you actually liked me.
Yeah, well, growing up as a kid, I always liked the Hulk Hogan's, the Macho Man, Randy Savages. But to like those guys, you got to understand how good it was to be a villain like you, because the villain really set up the match and did a lot of that match, didn't he?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, back in the day, the villain was considered the ring general. Like he called the shots, and he could make that good guy look as good as he wanted, or he could make him look bad if he wanted to. So I wanted to be running the show whenever I could.
You did a lot of vignettes over the years. We talked about them earlier today. Kicking the basketball the pool, closing the pool. Was there one that stood out to you?
The one that I get asked about constantly is the little kid in the basketball. That was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I told the kid, you can dribble the ball 15 times without missing. You get $500, kid. And of course, when he gets to 14, I just stick my foot out and kick the ball. The whole idea was to jilt him out of it. And, of course, people said, did you really do that to that little kid? And I said, no, it was rehearsed. I said, but he was a little kid, and my voice is deep and carries. And when we did it live, I had to be hardcore. And, of course, the camera goes off, but I'm still in front of the whole crowd, so I had to walk away. But so, no, I didn't really do that to the kid, and he got the money. And I don't have time for the rest of that story, but I actually met him several years later.
It's a fascinating story, Ted. We thank you so much for being here today. Last thing for you, when you think back of all the times that you wrestled and all the people you've met over the years, you've probably met a lot of great people in this business. Anyone that stands out to you? Do you get a chance to maybe still talk to some of these guys and stay in touch with them over the years?
Well, you know, I've got a couple of friends. I mean, guys that in my generation, Ricky Steamboat, my old partner Mike Rotundo. Those are guys. Jake the Snake, Bret Hart. I mean, Ric Flair. I never had an opportunity, what we call wrestle a program. You know, like many matches with Rick, but we had several matches and they were all good. The older guys, like Dick Murdoch and Terry Funk, the Funk Brothers, those guys. Dusty Rhodes has had a huge impact on my career as well. But one of the guys that I got to travel with for almost a year that I really enjoyed was Andre the Giant. And, he was a giant of a guy, and, good thing he was a nice guy, because a guy that big, you don't want him to be a bad guy.
He must have been a nice guy, because you bought the championship off him, which set up a big Royal Rumble, set up the WrestleMania.
You're gonna go with everybody else. I mean, I beat him fair and square. You know that.
There he is, the great $1 Million Man, Ted Dibiase. He'll be signing autographs on the concourse tonight, and we can't wait to have him here at BB&T Ballpark. Ted, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good to be here.
All right, back to you guys.